Hello, everybody. Welcome to Apocalypse Studios weekly live streams. It's Friday nights, which means that we're playing Old Silicon Knights games with our playthrough of Eternal Darkness: Sanity's Requiem. My name is Jen Lipichenik, your community herald, and this week I'm not joined on the couch. We're playing from home today, but I'm joined on stream with our CEO and founder, Dennis Dyack. How are you, Dennis?
Hey, good, Jalen. How are you? Hi, everyone. It's great to be here.
So last week we had finished. It was Blood Omen: Legacy of Kain, and we chose to leave the world in ruin. Basically, the dead won. The living had to suck up and offered up a lot of their bones to that skull throne that Kain was sitting on at the end. Let's start a new game here with Eternal Darkness. Now, I've never actually played this game before, Dennis, so is there anything I need to know going into it?
No, it's best that you know nothing.
There it is, Silicon Knights.
Uh, I remember writing this part. It was really fun writing this. I really, it's been a while since I've sat through and a playthrough of Eternal Darkness, but putting these scenes together and having it all come together was one of the most fun things and fun experiences I've had in the video games industry.
What is, what is this exactly? What am I looking at? Hmm. Well, as always on these streams, we're answering your questions about Dead House Sonata, our upcoming title. We can start, Dennis, with your first question for today. It says Golden Zan in our Discord has asked, would you kindly share with us a hypothetical example of how a Twitch viewer could potentially alter something in a player character's story?
Yeah, for sure. So right now, in the latest example that we showed, which was a micro example, oh, the green, that must be a
Mm-hmm.
bug. Um,
Interesting. We're running this off an emulator right now on my computer, so that could be something on my end, which will have to be looked at.
yeah, it looks
Ooh.
like it's just a code bug. So rather than opening gates or setting off a poison trap or fire traps, which you saw happening in real time, we can have people on Twitch actually take control of the narrative, and I guess I would call it a narrator module, in which gamers what they experience will change depending on what they do. Now, everything we're doing in Dead House Sonata is procedural. So imagine now that with the narrator module, there are certain options that are present 333 that are options that the people on Twitch or the narrator himself could choose, changing the trajectory and the narrative that the gamer actually experiences. And then from there, we have all kinds of ideas where we want to start incorporating big data, and we want to store all this big data into a cohesive whole that represents what the player has. So, and we're going to be using this for many, many things, but uh, by taking what the narrator's doing and choosing plus what the gamer's doing, you will get a uh, potentially very deep, flexible narration where gamers can absolutely get a distinct experience depending on who's watching the game. So that's the idea. There's also other ways too where there's going to be many modules for these things. So I've just talked about a narrator module. There's a dungeon master module. There could be a shopkeeper module. There could be someone who controls boss fights. There is many, many things that we can do within the idea of deep social media integration that's a completely undiscovered country. I truly believe uh, that by the time you combine these factors with other factors like the emergent storytelling ideas that we have, like from the first age, where people can change the landscape of the persistent world, you just start layering all these different things. once you start accepting the concept of where we're going with this living, breathing world that is partially crafted by us and then crafted by the community, you will get something that I believe no one's experienced before, and that's what we're going for. So that's my first off the top of my head example of how that could happen. Hopefully that answers the question.
I think so. I know that a lot of people get a little nervous when we mention big data and things like that, but yeah, it's all about using it properly. We're not using it to target ads towards anyone, or we're not tracking people. Definitely not.
Yeah, we will always stay ethical. This game will always be free to play. And especially with all the craziness that's going on now, if people find themselves without a lot of disposable income right now, they'll still be able to enjoy the game at its fullest without paying a penny. So that is our commitment to gamers out there, and you can take that to the bank.
Okay. Hello, Sailor Midgard. How's it going? We had a question from Golden Zan in the chat, just about the intro sequence to this game. What was not the purpose of it, but the fight at the beginning? Why include that at the very beginning of the game before any tutorial or anything like that?
It's a nightmare scene to get people used to the controls. And it was a homage to Blood Omen Legacy of Kain as well. So in Blood Omen Legacy of Kain, you can't win the opening fight. Same with this, you can't win that opening fight either.
Yeah, no matter how hard I tried, those peasants got me. Eventually, in Blood Omen, you could fight as long as you want, but
that's right.
Yeah. No ale in here either, for a weary traveler, unfortunately.
No. There's no ale for a weary traveler here. There's some pretty dark things in.
Ooh, it's a big house. Nice piano.
It's a mansion.
Ooh. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to this so much because I know what's coming, and it's going to be fun, especially if you've never heard anything about this game, Jalen.
No, I have not. We've talked about this, that I haven't played this game. But I've heard lots of really good things about it. It was sort of a cult classic back in the day, from what I understand, for GameCube games.
Yeah, it was very popular.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. And now you're making me nervous. You know what's coming next. I feel like something's going to jump out at me somewhere. There's something about this house that's just a little creepy. Let's see. Okay, back out this way. Or is that the way I came in? Nope. Okay. What we got going on here? We had a question from our Discord from Livin, who says the outer symbols on the cosmology are supposed to represent the houses. Which one belongs to Dead House? I believe this was in... we've shown off pictures of the 9 pillars, gods, for Dead House before, I think he's referencing.
Yeah, so without a visual reference, it's very hard for me to say which one it is. However, I believe one of the first concept sketches that we had with an early Banshee on the image, one of the very, very early concept pieces, shows the Dead House sigil. So that I know. Otherwise, I would have to look at the actual. I don't know. Is it on our webpage anywhere? Let me look. Well, I don't know if it is. I don't think it is.
Calypso, you're making me nervous. What am I going to react to? Oh boy.
It might be. It might be in the Necrolibriatus. Let me look in the Necrolibriatus here.
Okay, so here's a mirror puzzle that I can't quite figure yet. So we'll
I'll let you wander around for a while, and then I will give you some hints.
Yeah, we'll come back to that room. We'll come back to that puzzle. Gonsen says he doesn't recall, but he does have the image of in one of the early posts on the forum for the cosmology that they're talking about.
Yeah, I would have to. I would have to, frankly, have to look again. Tell you what, we'll follow up in the forums with which one it is, and we will post it.
Beautiful clock. Strange tick. Time's permanently set to 3:33. Interesting. A dresser key. Okay. Useful. Which dresser does that unlock, though? Let's see.
So when we were working on this game, all horror games before Eternal Darkness had tank control, and this was one of the first games, if not the first game, that took complete control of the camera in the video games industry. Is before God of War, before any of the Assassin's Creed titles. Really seemed like they borrowed a lot from Eternal Darkness. So this camera system was all very, very new, and had not been seen before in video games, as far as I'm aware. And so it was pretty groundbreaking at the time, and really made the game easy and fun to play. So it's for now these days, I think people take these kind of camera systems for granted. But back in the day, all there was for horror games was Resident Evil, and the camera system and control system were a challenge. So very proud of that particular aspect with Eternal Darkness.
Yeah, I know what you mean about being taken advantage of, being able to control the camera. Already, I've noticed I feel more unsettled. The fact that I can't control the camera and see like where, if I want to look behind me, I can't do that exactly. So you gotta be real careful about where you're going and what you're looking at, I suppose. So let's see. Fireplace I can look at. Warm candlelight. If one looks closely, the family secrets are revealed. Like that guy hanging from the tree. Ew. Oh dear. Okay, interesting. We had a question in our Discord from Golden Zan who asked, can you not pledge your allegiance to any specific faction in Deadhouse if you prefer? Could you be your own independent faction? I know on our last stream yesterday we had talked a lot about the political system of Deadhouse and how there are different hordes that all run sort of their own aspect of Deadhouse and keep things moving. The horde is the military faction and things like that.
That's currently contemplated. I guess we could entertain that, but depending on your class, you get a default faction, and you can change factions depending on your play style and how you want to play the game. But we generally saw everyone within those 5 factions.
Okay. So yeah, you will be in those factions, and Is there some drift on this controller?
There's bonuses associated with those factions. I guess non-aligned. We could think about a non-aligned faction, but that would. I will open it for discussion with people internally, and we'll see. It's an interesting suggestion, one I had contemplated. So.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, Calypso had said in the chat that he's dropped the image in the Discord general chat about what they were talking about, the cosmology. Thank you, Calypso. I can ignore this room for now. So I have a dresser key. Where does that lead me to? At least this clock is not set to 3:33.
Okay, you're gonna wander around aimlessly for a while. Go to the clock.
Okay, there we go. Yes. Yeah, there it is. Okay. I wonder what time I should set it to. Did Did that do it?
I think you missed it by a little bit.
Okay, hold on. One,
Three,
two,
three.
3. There it is. Mornblade just asked in the Discord, when you say story-driven, do you mean the story for our character, the story of the world, or does the media integration affect the story? So, story-driven ARPGs, let the story of the character or the story of the world itself? Thank you, Golden Zen, by the way, for moving that into over here for us.
Both. Both.
Both. Okay. And does the media integration affect the story?
Yes. So did you not see the door open? See, this is the problem with streaming. There's a door that opens.
Yeah, I was just about to ask. Yeah, looking at chat and I didn't see this door open.
Yes.
Ooh. Dark spooky room. Book we can go look at. I don't want to read the book, but let's do it. Ooh. Ew. Oh. Okay. We had a question from Mornblade over in the Discord. Could deleted characters come back or stick around as NPCs, possibly reincarnated by players to be playable again or interacted with? Basically, just if you delete a character, is that character gone, or is there any potential for them to be reused or reanimated at a later date?
We have considered that, and also having them come back as potentially sentient weapons as well, particularly those people. If assuming we implement a hardcore mode, that would be kind of one of the ideas that we were wanting to go with.
Okay, so yeah, it's a pretty interesting idea, I think, because that green.
I think that's the transition. That's going to happen every transition. Looks like it's bugged out or something, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Still get the idea. It's a smooth transition from the book to here. That's all.
I apologize to you guys in the chat. This has not been the smoothest stream. This is the first one that I've been running out of my house and my computer. I know that the timer wasn't working at the beginning, and we went straight from black into the live stream. And even with this emulator, with the little green glitches and things like that, but we're gonna work on it. By the time I stream Bloodborne on Monday, hopefully we can get all this stuff fixed. And I know for sure that Bloodborne has no green transition screens, so here's hoping.
I think it's probably the Dolphin emulator is my guess.
Mm-hmm. I think so. Something with Dolphin.
Yeah. Might want to play right from a GameCube or something. We'll see if it's possible.
Mm-hmm. Way back in ancient Rome. Ugh. Well, I'm hyped for that Bloodborne stream too, Ian. Bloodborne is one of my favorite video games to play. I've beaten that game countless times in college. I'm really excited for that. And it's a huge inspiration for Dead House Sonata, so we're really excited to show you guys and see what's helping shape the world of Negosua and what we're looking at for inspiration. Go Pious, says Darula. Go Pious. Oh, now you messed up,
Pious
Pious.
Augustus. So, interestingly enough, when we first showed this game, I think it was one of the first times when anyone had seen the plume, the Roman centurion plume, being the direction that it is. Usually, when you see most plumes, it's rotated 90 degrees. And during the time of Julius Caesar, which is when this is occurring, there was about a 50 to 100 year period where they changed the designs of the Roman centurions so it actually faced that way. And I had a lot of people thinking that it was historically inaccurate. And then I told them to go back to their history books and look. And then they realized that it was entirely accurate. So it's pretty interesting. We pulled a lot from history with Eternal Darkness. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know that, yeah, it was typically, for one period it was horizontal and not vertical, the plume. So it made sense to me, but I could see why some people think it goes the other way, or it was always the other way anyways.
Yeah, but during the time of Eternal Darkness, I don't think it since Eternal Darkness has been on TV a few times, but before then you never really saw anything like that at all. So
Oh, and you're not dead. Okay. Those guys keep getting up. Oh, skeletons. A granite block. Raziel is also present in the game. Ooh. Says Golden Zan. Interesting. Ooh, okay. Get around that guy. Please give me the granite block. Golden Zan in our Discord had asked, is there anything that can consume essence while the undead is in their physical or ethereal states? I guess if you could drain one resource while an opponent is in a different state than that.
Yep, for sure.
It will be health meter. Okay. That will be, I'm assuming that will be quite a large part of the game, not only resource management, but just even the resources that you're not using at that time, making sure that when you do go into those states, you have the resources that you need to go there. Oh, Golden Zen, you can't joke about Raziel being in this game. I'm gonna believe you. I haven't played this game before.
You gotta kill some of these zombies there, buddy.
They're not bothering me. You leave them alone, and they leave you alone.
All right.
Well, wait.
You'll see. After a while, that strategy after a while tends not to work out.
Yeah, 50 of them are gonna come pouring down that ladder, following me or something.
No, there's other things in the game that you haven't experienced yet that will stop you from doing that. But it's totally up to you. You'll see.
Yeah, live and let the undead live, Golden Zan, is what I always say. If they're not bothering you, don't bother them. There was a question in the Twitch chat. Where was that? Golden Zan had asked, do the undead mourn dead that have reached true death?
You got cut off, so I only heard part of the question. Something about...
Do the undead mourn the dead who have reached true death? Is true death another death for the undead? Do they have a funeral for them?
It's a good question. I guess we'll see in the community. If you're in hardcore mode, that's pretty brutal. If not, otherwise, you're essentially getting kicked out of the dungeon instance. So it's more of a teleportation thing, so not as harsh. But it depends. Depends what the player's chosen.
Whole line of squares looks like it has been removed from it. Let's see, can I take... Yeah, there we go. Put that block into there. Excuse me, sir. Don't mind me coming through. This one. Will it be possible to rename our characters after their creation? Asks Golden Zan in our Discord.
Undecided, but probably.
Yeah, I know there are quite a few games, like I mention Monster Hunter a lot on these streams, but Monster Hunter as a microtransaction can let you go through and go back into the character creator, remake your character, rename them, I'm pretty sure, things like that, which is useful, but it's a microtransaction, so do you really want to spend $10 just to come up with a new name for your character? I don't think it's worth it.
Well, it all depends. Depends what people want to do. It depends how long you've been playing, right? If it's worth it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Might hate your name.
Okay, let's see. Opened up a door. Or no, this was back the way I came.
That's right. You're right. No. Go back the way you were.
this gate.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. Interesting. Pius, you must prove your worth by destroying this statue. Placing R slightly, then pressing it again will cycle through multiple targets. Okay. I'm sorry, buddy. Had to do it to him, unfortunately. Darula, is that me, Darula? It looked an awful lot like me. That's why I was a little hesitant to go up and start swinging my sword. But yeah, that Gladius cuts right through stone, or Gladius.
Well, now you know how to target body parts.
Yes. Ooh, stop that.
These are the easiest of the skeletons too, man.
Yep.
Or the zombies.
Getting used to the controls.
Yeah, quit crying.
Yeah, sounds like us in Cthulhu Wars again the other day.
Yeah, I wish I could have played that game. I'm looking forward to playing next week.
Yeah, Golden Zan will actually be joining us on Wednesday when we play that game, so
that's
that'll be
awesome.
yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. Oh, and you can finish them off? Yeah. Okay. Ooh, glowing switch. A button attached to a small pylon softly illuminates bizarre. I guess we're pushing the button. Ian, you can come for me all you want in Cthulhu Wars. Just make sure you bring lots of change for me. I guess we're stepping in the glowing light. Yeah, Gladius is the bad guy from Portal Darula. You're right. My bad. Ooh. Delicate, pale blue. Sure, let's take the artifact. Interesting. Darula has asked in the chat, Dennis, could you tell us about the yellow aligned ancient? I'm not too sure. Nope. All right.
It is an ancient, though. It is a different ancient. So we had, and I still have, ideas for future storyline. That was the silent ancient. There's a whole storyline I want to unroll with that, but I guess after a couple of years that the game was out, or maybe a year or so, I talked about that there was another ancient.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm a zombie. Now I'm a Pius as a skeleton. That was a little spooky, but yeah, you're right, Golden Zen. I probably should have looked at the other two artifacts before I picked that one, but now I know. Okay, and we're back into the mansion now. Pius's story. Tomb of Eternal Darkness. Tome. Strangely, with the Tome of Eternal Darkness in possession, Alex can read the page. It's a chapter from the tome itself. Sure, we'll take the page. The Binding of the Corpse God. Yeah, starting to get the horror aspects of this game. Lots of spooky stuff I can see. Ooh. Yeah, gangs, that's her. D Magician 2432 in the chat has asked, was there ever plans for a sequel? I'm assuming he's talking about Eternal Darkness, which...
Yes, there was.
And does the N64 version exist anywhere?
The ROMs are somewhere, probably at Nintendo somewhere still, but the N64 ROMs are still out there as far as I I guess they could have been destroyed.
Okay, so I got the tome. I got the sword. I think that's about all in this room. Double check these
Nope.
candles. Small shrine of candles. Their placement appears to be very deliberate, matching the etchings on the table and the walls. Candles are unlit. We got fire somewhere in here. Do I have a lighter? Nope.
Go back into your inventory. Now check the page.
Oh, add it to the book.
Cannot say what
Or read it. Okay.
nor am I sure of its end. So perhaps here is the best place to start. I am reminded of ideas I first encountered in Sir James George Fraser's book, The Golden Bough, a study in
Golden Zan had asked in the Discord, Dennis, is there an expectation as to how big Dead House Sonata will be in terms of storage space initially?
since time immemorial.
No idea. No idea. We have no idea.
Their lack of knowledge
Sorry.
as gods indeed.
Yeah, tough to tell while we're still at this stage in development. So, who knows? We'll see. Obviously, we're trying to make the game as small as possible so it could fit on as many different computers as possible and things like that. But there's a lot of big stuff planned for the game, so who knows?
Forever in shadow will be master of chaos.
No.
Fade to nothing in obscurity.
Another flashback.
Many millennia. It is the true chaos of all.
Darula just asked you, Dennis, if why did you decide for subtitles in this game after audio only Kane?
Subtitles are only on because Jalen turned them on.
Yeah, I personally prefer reading text rather than hearing it because I tend to mash through text in video games. So it's more for me as well. It's easier for me to hold a conversation with you, Dennis, and then read some of the text and still know what's going on. I noticed while we were playing Legacy of Kain, I came up with some issues where I couldn't hear what Kain was saying, and they would tell me to go do something or go somewhere, and I didn't quite know because I was trying to ask a question or pay attention. So subtitles in here for me, I guess if you had your way, there would be no subtitles or no option for them either, right?
I don't know about no option, but by default the game has subtitles turned on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess it depends on the localization. I think in Japan and a few places that prefer subtitles are on, but in general they're turned on.
Calypso suggested you should partner with limited run games for a physical edition that's limited. That's not a bad idea. With updates in previous ages going forward, I'm not too sure how a physical copy of the game would work, but wait. Triangular design is carved into the floor. The etched grooves are filled with colored sand. Symbols appear to be related with each other. One having precedence over the other. Red, green, blue. Okay. Are we going for the true ending, Darula? That's a good question. I'm not...
He doesn't even know what that means yet. I would say yes, but we'll see if Jalen has the stamina to do it.
Well, we'll see. Asking me to sit and play a video game is, I think I could do that for quite a while, but this necklace
Okay.
can be used to heal.
He's committed, everyone. He's committed to it. Guess we'll be playing Eternal Darkness for a little while.
What exactly is, or what is required to do the true ending? I'm just assuming 100% all secrets, things like that, collectibles.
I think you need to play a little bit more to understand what's going on right now. And I am a bit concerned that you're missing a lot of the story because you're multitasking. I think in the future, what we might want to do is have you play and have someone really monitor the chat and just come on and actually field the questions so you can pay attention to the game. Otherwise, I think you're going to miss a lot of what's happening. The storyline in Eternal Darkness is very multi-layered, and on the surface seems pretty straightforward, but it's actually gets pretty complicated after.
Okay. Yeah, and I do know what you mean. I can agree with that. Like I couldn't tell you this girl's name right now, but I just know briefly she was reading about what there is to do around here and reading about dark gods. I don't, and all these skeletons on the ground. Those are gonna stand up eventually, for sure.
The good thing is as you're playing, Jalen, after the session, you can go back and watch the cinemas.
Ah, okay, that's really
Which I
helpful.
recommend you to get caught back up with the story to make you have an understanding of what's happening. It
Yeah.
will matter.
Okay, that's really good to know. Jalen. Glumzin just asked for some clarification on Darula's question. Why add subtitles at all when you decided not to have any text in Blood Omen?
So when we partnered with Nintendo, we were going to do that, but when we partnered with Nintendo, we learned that in some Asian countries, particularly Korea, China, and Japan, they prefer to read over hearing voice because of the way the languages are based on symbols. You can actually read faster than what people can talk. And there was a strong preference for subtitles. So Nintendo asked us to put them in, so we did.
That makes sense.
So,
like I said, I prefer
that was a
reading.
learning experience for me. I had no idea that was the case. Like in Germany, dubbing is very important. So in some cases, you'll have the subtitles in German, but in Germany they don't like subtitles. They want to hear all the actors speaking German. So it all depends on, the preference of the area and the country. Actually, Zan, as someone, you probably know this. I'm guessing that you already knew the answer to that.
Candles depict times of day. Okay, that gate's closer to open now. Another necklace. Bronze necklace sits atop a clay urn. Give me that. Golden says he didn't know the answer, but he does understand the reasoning.
Yeah, okay.
Brightly burning sun. Okay, so we'll come back here to this room. Ooh. Where was that other door that I saw open up a little bit? Oh, now you're standing up. And I guess these are the ones that I can't run past because of the sanity meter a little bit. Get that head out of there. And finish him off. I will say the combat is really satisfying in this game so far. Just the chopping off the various limbs and then finishing them off once they're down on the ground has been a lot of fun. Was that back in here? No, I don't think so. I'm going the wrong way again, I believe. Yeah, I think so. And no, there is no stamina meter. I can, oh yeah. There is stamina. I can't run forever. Darn traps. There we go. Okay. There we go. Do weapons grow in power as they accumulate souls inside? This was from Golden Zan on Discord. I'm assuming he's referencing, we were talking about how there are certain swords that you would be able to lock, say, boss souls inside or things like that. If there would be visual changes to the weapons themselves to represent how they've evolved or the amount of souls kept inside of them.
Depends on the weapon. So it is possible, yes, but it depends on the weapon.
need. Ooh.
Can't move. You can't move during a spell. Try it again.
Ah, okay. There we go. That's how that works. Okay, so there's nothing over in this one. Nothing over in this one. Or no. Oh, nothing on these ways. Am I... That candle's correct. And it sets up... The other candle was correct. Let's find another doorway somewhere around here. Let's see. Yeah, I know what you mean, Dennis. Normally when we do these streams about, I've got Scott in one ear of mine feeding questions to us, which is really helpful. Right now I've got the game on one screen, and I've got all of like Twitch chat, and I've got all the questions from our Ask a Dev thread over here on the one screen, and it is a little difficult to go back and forth between the two. A little harder than I thought it was going to be. So you guys in the chat will have to bear with me, or with us, if there's some lulls in the conversation and things like that. Doing our best, and we will definitely have this running much smoother by next Friday nights. Golden Zen did ask, though, will gore be a default option in Deadhouse? Better yet, is gore developed to be a natural part of the game from the start?
Yes.
I would assume so. I don't think it would quite be the same feel to the game of a grim, dark horror fantasy game without some levels of gore in it. Blood, guts, bones, things like that. Okay, we've been through here. Yep. Yep, okay. There's nothing over there. This candle's correct because it brought down that gate a little bit.
It did? Okay.
But there was nowhere here.
Can you look at the map?
Where was that?
Map is inside the book.
Yes.
So have you gone down? Okay, so you see how you've gone down one side, you want to go down the other side.
Okay, so there should be another door opposite
Right.
of this sort of
The
corridor.
opposite. So you got to go back to the center place where you started and go down the other side.
Thought I could run through them.
Nope. You're going to want to use that necklace pretty soon, too. Yep.
Stand still this time. Learn my lesson. Ravenscara asked in the chat, will dismemberment be a combat effect in Deadhouse Sonata?
We're going to see. We've already discussed that. The problem with dismemberment is in a game like Eternal Darkness where the number of enemies is fairly small. It's good to do dismemberment because it brings combat to a micro level. In a large game where you can have many enemies on the screen, sometimes it becomes overly cumbersome to have body part targeting. We are going to see how we feel about that. Currently, it is not planned.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, and I can imagine in such a fast-paced
Go
hack
back.
and slash. Ooh. That candle was correct, I think.
Was it correct? Oh, if it was correct, then don't go back. It's very, your screen's very dark for me, so I apologize.
Okay, no problem. All issues good to know, so we can have this all worked out for next week. Ooh. Wasn't watching and I managed to just walk right by him. Yeah. finish him off. There we go. Okay, and this one is not correct. Oh, it's floor tiles, Darula. Okay, floor tiles that activate traps. I noticed that, yeah, some of them, sometimes they went off and sometimes they didn't. There we go. Now I know. Which tile is it? That one there? Ah, yeah. Now I see it. Okay.
I didn't want to tell you. I was watching you just run into him. It's kind of fun.
Oh well, I'm glad that you thought that was fun, Dennis. As long as somebody did. No, I'm kidding.
Don't forget to check your map.
Yes. Good call. Nope, because I could have gone
Right.
the other way through it. Yep. Because this.
So now you might as well keep going in the direction you're going. And remember the floor. Oh,
You're just 1 second too late with that.
yeah.
Ah, I moved. Don't move. Don't move. Sailor Midgard in the chat asked, will there be extra stats like in 2 Human, like slide distance and sword damage up kind of things?
And yes.
That's the other. Okay, don't step on that. I've been playing a lot of Borderlands 3 lately, and that game is really good for a lot of those extra stats like that. Slide distance, slide damage, ammo regeneration, and just all sorts of lots of extra little stats that you can add to really customize your character, which I think would be really cool in Dead House. No 2 vampires will ever play the same way, or should play the same way based on the stats and things you've given them. Small pistol covered. Blowgun upon it. Should I take the blowgun? I know Golden Zan just told me to check everything in the room before you take stuff, and you know what? I probably should have listened to him. You're right, Golden. And it's also a good idea to save the game. You're right. Oh, boy. Oh, that's squishy sound they make. Where was save? Darkness is coming. It is not safe to save right now. Oh, thank you. Oh, I don't want this blowgun. Except I don't have my sword anymore, so I have to. Oh, let me out. Let me out. Let me out. This is... I get him in the head, in the chest. Oh. Oh, they explode when you don't do that. Okay. Good to know. Lots of learning done today.
I know. Who's that, babe? Look who's here. Owen has joined for the stream.
Oh, hey.
He is, well, now we have 6 cats. All the cats, just everyone, those watching. I already had 3 cats. Owen was one of them. And we had, because we closed the office down because of the global pandemic, I took all the cats home to our place. So now there's 6 cats here. And we're slowly integrating them. Right now, there's like a quarantine zone where the cats from the office are in one level of the house and our cats are on another, and we've kind of cordoned off the house. But Rev has already broken quarantine a couple times. Been running around and having a good time.
Figures.
And yeah, it's funny. You know, typically something Rev would do.
Yep. Rev was always the troublemaker of the office, I think. He likes to bite Scott's cables and walk across keyboards and mess people up generally. He's probably the most skittish one though as well. I remember when I started, he stayed pretty far away from me for a little bit, and was very nervous every time I walked by him. Ooh, come here, skeleton. So knocking off their heads, it does seem to limit what they can see. Like, I don't think those guys were actually swinging their arms at me after I cut their heads off, just sort of in front of themselves. That's pretty interesting. Let's see. Is there anything in here? Perhaps a key or a lever of some kind. Let's check the map real quick. I have not gone this way, I think. No, this was the way I came. The headless Zambos, Darula. Headless Zambonis. Ooh, this feels like cool. Flawless. Perfect. Are these zombies fighting each other? Ooh, that one got me. Let's go ahead and use this. I think the controller has a little bit of drift in the one joystick. Because sometimes I have been trying to stay still to use a spell, and as soon as I finish it, I end up walking in one direction ever so slightly, just enough to cancel the spell. Okay. Like that. There we go. Where was... we had a question from Roband in the forums who asked, if vampires are stronger at night, will weather / time of day affect other types of undead as well? I think we have talked about some undead being stronger at night specifically,
Yes.
and others are stronger
Answer is
during...
yes.
Yeah. Will they be, like in Legacy of Kain, I know that the undead, they don't like snow, they don't like rain, they didn't like water. I don't think we've said that the undead in Deadhouse won't have as many limitations as Legacy of Kain. Is that correct?
No, on Legacy of Kain, you were a vampire. There's different types of undead in Deadhouse. So there are vampires, but there's other classes of undead as well.
At least 9. There's 7. 7 classes for 9 different houses.
Correct.
I'll listen to him. Don't go near it. Manti? Hmm? It's me. It's Pius. Oh, I got a upgraded sword. No, now it's a staff. Listen to the man. Leave. Too late. Should have listened. Staff meeting. Roband in the forums asked, will there be any blocking mechanics in Deadhouse Sonata?
Yeah, probably. Depending on the class, we're to be determined.
Mm-hmm.
But probably. It's possible.
I can imagine a Revenant carrying a large shield or something like that and having some sort of blocking mechanic, but for most of the other undead, it's difficult to imagine. Vampires
The-
like to use two different weapons, and I don't think wraiths or ghouls have. We haven't seen any of them, anyways, holding weapons or anything really. So,
Well, the different combat moves on the Twitch level, I mean, on the like quick combination level, are going to be based on the weapon itself, and generally the skill tree is going to be based on the class. So you will have different mixing and matching depending on what kind of weapon you have and the class that you have.
okay, so yeah, all right. So it all depends on what you're holding at that time, and I should probably. I know that guy told me not to grab the thing, but if I can grab the thing,
That guy Pius.
well, it was the one guy, the one guard I think before he got eaten by the dead guard.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I got staff now. Cannot use that right now. Cool. Golden asked in the chat if you, Dennis, pulled from Cthulhu Wars at all as inspiration for Eternal Darkness.
Did I pull from Cthulhu Wars?
Mm-hmm. Take
no.
any inspiration from Cthulhu Wars for Eternal Darkness. I guess with the Elder Gods and with this.
No. Well, Cthulhu Wars wasn't. So no, Eternal Darkness came probably about 8 years before Cthulhu Wars, so not possible. However, was there Lovecraft influences with all the same gods? Yeah, for sure. Huge Lovecraftian and H.P. Lovecraft influence in Eternal Darkness. Absolutely. But Cthulhu Wars only came out about 4 or 5 years ago, so yeah, Eternal Darkness came way before.
Okay, yeah, definitely not then. I don't like the way this guy pulsates. His eyeballs and teeth and
That's
just
Mantarok, baby.
just a massive meat, tentacles, flesh. I was
He's the dying god, the corpse god.
And I bet you this metal staff could be used. Oh, you guys are back. Ooh. Don't touch me. Don't explode. Give me back some of my sanity, please. Favorite customer? I'm not sure if this is a serious question or not, but what do the gods do in their free time? I mean, Mantarok seems to be hanging out there for quite a bit. I'm not sure if he has any free time, though. He seems quite busy, pulsating.
They're plotting.
And, plotting.
Dreaming and plotting.
Although we can't quite fathom and understand all of their schemes and the scale of everything, they've got lots of stuff planned.
Well, if
Oh.
you get the full ending, not so perfect this time. If you play through the full ending, Jalen, you will be exposed to some of that.
Interesting. Okay. Well, we're in it for the long haul. I've already said we're doing the true ending, so gotta give the people what they want, right?
Yep.
Don't hit me with the dart right now. Thank you. And we'll just leave that one guy. He's done enough. He's suffered enough already. Oh. I thought the camera was weird there for a second. You faked me out. I thought there was nothing going on in here. Turns out there was a lot going on. Ooh. Roband in the forums asked, will there be ways to avoid true death even if all three of your resource bars become depleted? An item that restores you, or a player performing a ritual on your corpse, for example?
I guess potentially, but unlikely. That would be very rare.
True death is true death. It doesn't sound like there's a whole lot of ways to come back from that.
So you know where to go now, Jalen?
Yes, back towards uh, Wriggly Boy, which was
That's right.
this way. Back the way I came. Nope. Manti, as people have been saying in the chat. Good old Manti. Ooh. Uh-oh. Am I supposed to be falling through the floor? Ooh.
Oh, is that a bug? What happened?
I'm not too sure. Fell through the floor there for a second, and then I got teleported back to the start. Oh. That must have hurt.
This is so fun watching this.
All right, go through. There we go. Favorite customer did have a much more serious question this time. What kind of new sanity effects would you add to this game if you could, Dennis? Eternal Darkness, not Dead House.
Those are all secrets for the future. I had a full gamut of sanity effects that we would want to add. Right now, it's just fun watching Jalen not know quite what's going on yet.
Well, so yeah, the camera's moving around a little bit. I'm assuming that's some elder gods at work here, but ooh. Okay. Not a cutscene. What year did this game come out again, Dennis? This was
2002.
2002? Oh, crap. Hmm? I don't know, man. Yeah, Golden Zen, this game is older than it looks. This is really good graphics for 2002. I was expecting it to be a little older than that, but on GameCube, I guess, it had to have been right around that time.
It was on GameCube, correct?
Mm-hmm. Another transition, another green glitch. Clipso says, I will say whenever the Eternal sequel gets made, I suggest not showing the sanity meter, but keeping health and magic visible.
Good suggestion.
Mm-hmm. I think whenever I think of a sanity meter, I always think of ooh, okay. 1 second. That one and that one. Solve that puzzle now. Cool. Message tube inside of it. Let's take that. Go ahead and check that out. Leatherbound antique message tube. Let's open it. Chapter page. Golden Zen says Jalen is going considerably fast, right? Am I? Not too sure.
You are. It's okay. He'll slow down.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. Well, and I think after this cutscene, we might be wrapping up this stream. I'll save the game. We're right at about our 5 o'clock mark. Actually, a little over. Look at that. We gave you guys an extra 5 minutes because we're feeling generous today.
The first 3 chapters in the game can go by pretty quickly. But then after that, it gets tougher. And Jalen is going to find that if he doesn't truly understand the combat mechanics, he'll get overwhelmed after a while, but he'll get there. And if he watches the cinemas, he'll have a better idea what's going on.
Yeah, that's definitely the plan. I will rewatch all of these cinemas after. And I know that, like, even in Legacy of Kain, or Blood Omen Legacy of Kain, I had sort of the same issue at the beginning, getting used to the combat and getting overwhelmed. I was burning through Hearts of Darkness like it was nobody's business when we first started that playthrough, so by the end, thanks to Varric Kelden, I managed to get back up to 99, and then I think we ended with like 30 or something, so maybe I didn't have quite the handle on the combat of that game as I thought I did, but we'll definitely be picking this up next week. Same time, same place at the deadhousesonata or twitch.tv/deadhousesonata.com at 4 p.m. EST. We'll be playing through this game again while Dennis answers your questions about our upcoming title, Dead House Sonata. If you need any more information, please check out our website, deadhousesonata.com. You can join our forums there to become a part of our community, and you can find a link to our Discord. While you're there, you can also check out our store page, purchase a Founders Pack, and become a part of our first stage. I'm looking forward to seeing all you guys on Monday when I play through Bloodborne at the same channel. Dennis, is there anything you'd like to say to everyone before we log off?
Thanks for watching, everyone. Please stay safe during this crisis. And we hope that during this time that these streams are fun and can help pass some of the time away while everyone is isolated. Please take care, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks, everyone.
Have a good night, everybody. Take care.
Bye-bye.